Hi guys, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And today is the 15th of May. The moon is in Pisces. I love when the moon's in Pisces. But I thought I was just watching some Rachel Maddow on YouTube actually, and I've sort of stepped away from things for a little while. I felt like I needed all my energy to deal with what I had to deal with in my life at the time. And I didn't want the energy of the outside world to pull me down, because then I felt like I wouldn't be able to actually get what I needed to get done in my life, which, of course, you have to live your life primarily. Um, but I, I sat down today and started watching, and it struck me. Um, she was talking to a gentleman who wrote a book, Dark Towers. It's about the whole, like, where Trump gets his money and all that stuff. And he was just explaining that uh, if the two committees that asked for his financial records get his financial records, then it is then his whole, like, financial picture will be exposed to everybody. And I didn't actually realize that was what was going to happen. For some reason, I just thought it was his tax returns. I guess maybe I missed the other part of that. And so it struck me. I have a theory about why he's dragging his feet on the coronavirus. Um, so I want to do a card reading first, and then if it comes up in the card reading what my thought was, um, then I'll let you know what my thought was, or maybe I'll let you know what my thought was at the end of the card reading if the card reading goes in a different direction. I ask questions, and sometimes the cards want to answer a different question, as it were. So, all right. So, why is Donald Trump doing such a terrible job with the virus? What's the reason for that? I personally don't think that. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say. What's the reason that doing such a terrible job with the coronavirus? All right. So we have the Son of Pentacles as the first card. This is the Knight of Pentacles in the other decks. Um, there's an energy of patience here. There's an energy of biding your time. He is biding his time. Um, and it has to do with seeds that were planted in the past that are coming to fruition now. And it has to do with money. So it seems like it may have to exactly do with the situation um, with Deutsche Bank. That he's trying to create so much chaos or whatever, um, so that can just be sort of put on the back burner. Like if there's an emergency and the Supreme Court can't get together, and because of this virus, and maybe they're trying to knock off some of the older people on the Supreme Court with this. You know. Anyway, let's see. What's crossing this? Okay, the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like this is on his part. This is a way to protect himself from having his financials exposed. And the thing that's challenging it is that because of this, the economy, the Ace of Pentacles, is going to suffer so much because he is dragging his feet and he's not dealing with the problem. It's like not he's not even focused on the problem. He's focused on his own sort of money thing. And so that's the challenge. So the more he drags his feet, the worse it gets. So the very thing that he's sort of pinned his presidency on is no longer viable because the economy is going to be wrecked by this. say what's at the root of this. This is money and the mountain of money. This is at the root of this is the structure of his money. How is his money structured? What is he really worth? Is he worth anything at all? Um, he has built a mountain. He is the president of the United States. He has built a mountain on the idea that he is a billionaire. When in point of fact, it's very possible that he has nothing. Um, let's see the past. Oh, and we get the Father of Cups. Now, this is the King of Cups. I generally do not always ascribe, sometimes it comes up this way, but I don't generally ascribe the King of Cups to Vladimir Putin. I know other readers do. But in this case, I think that's who it is. I think this has to do with his past relationship with Vladimir Putin. And maybe not necessarily Vladimir himself, but the oligarchs, the Russian oligarchs that sort of control Putin, because Putin is working for them, really. And in the process is getting, richer and richer and richer. Okay, let's see what's in the sky. And we have the Three of Wands. So the first thing I thought is there is going to be an opening, that there's an opening for the information to come out. That's what's in the sky. When I look at this card, I see the background what looks like almost like interference, right? And then we have these three sticks sort of like tied together roughly. Um, and then in the center, we have this beautiful sort of vista of beautiful colors and all the colors of the rainbow. And there's this sense of like opening up, like something being revealed, right? And it's also a triangle pointing down, which is the direction of the triangle pointing down for manifestation. And so I think that this is really, um, I think this is a glimpse for us on some level that there's another side to this, and it's beautiful and it's glorious, but we have to be willing to do the work to get there. We have to be willing to um, sort of get out of the fear and put our heads down and work the energy to create something above all the stuff that's happening right now. Almost like creating the blueprint for what we want on the astral planes, like on the higher planes. Visualize, and then take small steps to get there. Even if they're minuscule steps, at least that forward direction. It's like action and faith, right? Yeah. So that's what's in the sky. I also think that it's actually in a way going to open it up maybe even more. Like I think part of the plan was drag your feet. They'll be so, what do you call over this virus thing, that they're not going to be paying attention to that. But people are going to say, why are you not like me? Why are you being such a terrible? I mean, I think that it's not. If people think that's because he's dumb. I think he's brilliant when it comes to how he's going to survive. How is he going to continue? It's like a single pointed me, I, me against the world. And it really is him against the world when you think about it. I mean, he has his followers. There's always going to be people that sort of go in that direction. But, for the most part, the world's immediate future. Okay, we get the Ten of Pentacles. That's interesting. The Ten of Pentacles. I don't know. Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles has to do with family money. So could within the next 6 weeks we know? Could it come out in that time? I don't know. I know that the Supreme Court did argue it, but I didn't see what the argument was. I think they sent something out to say, like, is there any other way that people can get this information besides through you? I think that's what they sent them to do. I don't know if they sent it to a lower court, or I don't know law at all. So, um, but the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. Let's see how this is seen from the outside. We have the Mother of Wands. It's an interesting card to see. I'm going to leave it and see. I'll just show it to you again. I'm going to leave it and see what else comes up. Sometimes I get stuck on a card. I have to take a few more cards before I get the story. This is our domestic situation. Oh, wow. The Empress. Okay. The Empress. Okay. Um, Hopes and Fears. The High Priestess. Wow. This is very interesting. And the outcome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised I saw this card. This is the Eight of Cups. This is turning your back. All the cups are crushed. Look at this. This was the root of the matter, right? All the money, all the power, and this is the outcome. The mountain is dark. The the illusion is dashed. Yeah. So let me see if I can pull a major arcana. I know there's plenty of major arcanas in this deck. The Two of Wands. I mean, in this reading. The Five of Swords. And the Devil. Okay. So this is what it seems like to me. He does not want his financials coming out at all. At all. Um, so he's dragging his feet on the pandemic. He's vacillating. He's biding his time. When they asked for these records, he sued, and then it went somewhere, and they sued, and he sued, and he sued, and that's what he does. He sues and sues and sues and sues. He uses the legal system as a weapon to sort of hold things back and delay and delay and delay. Um, and so that's the way he deals with when he gets attacked for whatever reason. And ever since the blue wave hit, as soon as that happened, I remember reading the cards on him and saying he is not above anything to protect himself. He will continue to do everything that he can within his power to stop, um, to get in the way of finding the truth about him. And he is definitely not above, um, not responding to a pandemic in his own country if he thinks it's going to serve him. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what it is. The problem with that is the economy is tanking, and he bases his success on the economy. In the past, um, he had connections with the Russian oligarchs. A lot of his money comes from that place. A lot of the money that he's used. I mean, he may not have anything left, but he certainly utilized it to build up who he seems to be, right? He leads us everybody to believe. Not me, but you know what I mean. But in the sky, it doesn't matter because the light is going to shine. The spirit is manifesting the new earth. Um, Spirit is, on a certain level, I want to say this. I don't know if you do what you're going to say, but Spirit is using him as a tool so that we can, so that a new relationship with the earth can occur. a new relationship with one another, a new relationship with the earth that we live on and the creatures that we share this earth with, and our relationship to each other. It all is going through a change, and I think that spirit is utilizing him in a way to maybe show us as an example that, you know, it doesn't matter what it seems like, it's what's in your heart that counts. And I'm not sure he knows where his heart is. He knows where his solar plexus is. He knows where his third eye is. He knows where his throat is. But does he know where his heart is? I don't think so. I don't think so. And then we have in the future things moving, money moving, the wheels moving. And it's interesting because the colors in this um, are very similar to the colors in this, right? See the colors, the colors in here and the colors there. It's almost as if spirit has enlivened matter here. And then as we look at it from outside of America, we have the rising of the goddess. We have the Empress card in the domestic situation, the power of the mother, the power of the feminine, the power of the family, the power of the bonds that we hold to each other. That when somebody we love is sick or dying or has died and didn't have to, what that does, how that strengthens the feminine in a way, because it unfortunately a lot of times combines us in our grief, but also allows us to express. And there's a lot of expressing going on, a lot of feeling moving out, but we're as energetically we're shedding the suffering. We're shedding all of the need to suffer. And so this is like a giant purge, but it's empowering the feminine, and this is the hopes and fears. There are two goddess cards in the deck. The two most powerful feminine cards in the deck are the Empress and the High Priestess, and they both came in the part of the reading along with the Daughter of Wands. This is the page. This is getting the message out. The message is out. The information is out. It's coming out. It doesn't matter. Maybe the COVID actually made it come out faster, because the people who have to make those decisions are seeing just how far this guy's going to go. So this doesn't happen. Okay, so this doesn't happen. And then we have the last three cards looking for the major arcana. I see this as, heads coming together. This is to me bipartisanship, right? Standing further, you stand, your ideals or the things that you stand on are far enough away, but the head comes together. And that's really going to make a structure stronger. If these two things were next to each other, it wouldn't be, any wind could blow it away. So you need these opposing forces, but you also need their minds and their inspiration to come together, to work together, right? Then on the other side of that, you have the Five of Swords, which is dirty tricks and killing and cutting. And this is kind of the darkness, right? And it's the mind. It's the mind. And it's that splitting. It's like keeping everybody separate, keeping everybody sort of against each other in that duality, right? But that duality should serve us as well to show us what is there. What are the facts? What are the facts? And then the outcome is the devil, which is about greed. It's about avarice. But the devil is also a very powerful card for good. Um, there's a lot of mistaken ideas about Satan, right? Satan, Santa, this like the same vibration. Santa gives, and Satan what? Keeps, you know? Maybe in keeping all the money, keeping all the power, you actually become that's a side of this energy. But this is Capricorn. Capricorn can be the sign of the Redeemer. right? So this is, and with his feet on fire, I feel like this is again a symbol of the transformation, the raising the vibration of physical matter, or our physicality, and sort of spiritualizing us in a way. It's like the spirit is coming into the earth and the earth is rising up to the spirit. And that connection is found in the heart chakra. It connects our earthly chakras with our heavenly chakras. And so love becomes the primary principle. And if anything is going to defeat Donald Trump, it's love. So, you know, I guess you got to love him. To answer my own question, I sort of went off on a tangent. Answer my own question. He is purposely not dealing with the coronavirus because he wants his power. And if they're saying to him that there's going to be a second wave and that it could be worse than the first, he's betting on that. He's betting on that because that may keep the Democrats from the polls, and then they can pull stuff, or they just call off the elections because it's just so bad, and he'll have to stay president. He's not above this, guys. He really isn't. I really kind of hate to think that, but it all comes down to that. He wants to keep his illusion of ultimate and absolute power. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Fortunately, it's not, or fortunately, unfortunately for him, fortunately for us, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Um, Deutsche Bank, if we get those records, if they come out, which according to this looks like they have a really good chance of coming out, he's done for. And if they are threatened to come out, that would be the thing that would let him say, all right, don't let anybody know. You can find out, but you can't make it public, and I'll leave. That's what it feels like to me. The Eight of Cups, which was the last card picked before I picked the 3 extra cards, is about turning your back on something that you've put a lot of energy into because it's no longer spiritually satisfying, or maybe in the story of Donald Trump's soul, not spiritually necessary anymore. All right, guys. Wow, that was quite a journey. I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. I will try to do some more readings. Um, I like to see the spiritual significance in what's going on more than actually what's going to happen. But I think I saw both those things in this reading. So take care. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for my morning astrology.